Now it's time to project who's going to play in the college football playoff, who is going to play in the New Year's Six Bowls. This has a lot to do with what I talked about in the resume ranking segment. How the committee views this quartet of 10-2 teams of Missouri, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and Penn State will determine who plays in some of these games. What also does contracts. That's right. Remember, we're a year away from this not mattering anymore, but right now, contracts still matter. Not as much this year because the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl, which are both contract bowls, they're semifinals. So they're out of the mix. They'll get the top 4 teams regardless. The Orange Bowl is the only bowl in the New Year's Six this year that we've got to worry about who's in what conference. They're going to have an ACC team in there, whether it's the ACC champ or the highest ranked ACC team not in the playoff. So that will be Florida State or Louisville. The question is Florida State in the college football playoff or not? Because if Florida State is in the college football playoff, Louisville is in this game. Win or lose the ACC championship game, Louisville would be there. The thing that complicates it for the 4 teams I'm talking about is that Florida State would still be in the New Year's Six if they lose to Louisville. So they wouldn't be in the college football playoff, but Louisville would get that Orange Bowl spot with a win in the ACC championship game. Florida State would slip into another spot in the New Year's Six. So it would still take a spot away from those 4 that we're talking about. And that's what makes this very interesting. So we'll start at the top. Sugar Bowl, number 1 Georgia. I've got number 4 Florida State here. I'm saying Florida State beats Louisville, 13-0, they're in. Rose Bowl, number 2 Michigan versus number 3 Oregon. Yes, I think if Oregon beats Washington, the committee would move Oregon ahead of Florida State, but would not knock Florida State out of the playoff. They would just swap Oregon and Washington. That puts Washington in the Fiesta Bowl. I've got them against Oklahoma because I think if the committee reevaluates the resumes, they're going to say that Oklahoma actually has the best resume of those 4, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Missouri, Penn State. I could be wrong here. This could be Penn State. This could be Missouri, but I'm saying it's Oklahoma. Cotton Bowl. I've got Texas and Ole Miss. Now, Texas, if they win the Big 12 and they're 12-1, they're going to be probably left out if Florida State wins the ACC championship game. And that is going to be pretty bitter pill to swallow because this Texas team is really good. And from a resume standpoint, probably deserves to play the playoff, probably can beat more teams in the playoff than Florida State could. But they're not going to do that to a 13-0 team. They're just not. I've got them against Ole Miss. So Ole Miss and Missouri, I think, are a really tight one. Penn State, I actually think, has the worst resume of those 4 that are duking it out for those spots. Ole Miss and Missouri, it's really close. You could go either way. Just Ole Miss beat LSU. Missouri didn't. Missouri's best non-conference win is Kansas State. Ole Miss is Tulane. They're both good wins. K-State losing against Iowa State doesn't help. Tulane moving into the American Championship game certainly does help. So that's really where it is. And so I've got Texas and Ole Miss in that game. And then I've got Alabama, Tulane in the Peach Bowl. Tulane's got to win the American Championship. They will get the spot for the highest ranked Group of 5 champ. I don't know that SMU would. The question now is if Tulane were to lose to SMU and Liberty were to beat New Mexico State for the Conference USA title, will Liberty get that spot as an undefeated Conference USA champ? That will be really interesting. So I'm going to watch the committee's rankings very closely on Tuesday to see where they put Tulane, where do they put Liberty, and do they put SMU in there at all to maybe give themselves some insurance in case they want to throw SMU in there if the Mustangs win. Very, very interesting situation. Oh, well, and let's not forget UNLV. Let's say UNLV wins the Mountain West. So keep your eyes peeled. Where does Tulane wind up? Where's Liberty? Where's UNLV? And does SMU make the rankings? Because those will help determine who plays in that New Year's Six Bowl spot. Going to be very weird in the last year of doing this. But listen, it's college football. You wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples On 3. And oh, by the way, Watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.